This episode is brought to you by L'Oréal Paris and their Revitalift filler range. If you're looking for a glass skin glow, try Revitalift Filler Serum and Plumping Water Cream. Powered by hyaluronic acid, L'Oréal's Filler Serum hydrates skin and replumps fine lines in just 1 hour. Then lock in that hydration and plump with the Filler Water Cream. Right now, the range is half price at Boots until the 21st of October, subject to availability. Shop the Revitalift Filler Serum and Water Cream at Boots now.
Pay attention. The ferry leaves at 10 a.m. Roads are busy.
Great.
Dad, pack the boot. Suitcases, Tetris style.
Yeah.
Rosie, got your teddy?
Uh-huh.
No going back this time. Honey, how's the car?
Windows clean, car wax, carpets back.
I meant the tyres.
Oh, sorted them at Quick Fit last week.
Brilliant. If things go to plan, it'll be smooth sailing.
Planning the perfect getaway this summer? Make sure your tyres are up for the job. Book today at quickfit.com or your local centre. Quick Fit. Drive away happy every time.
Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital? Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
A General Hospital fan podcast. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the General Hospital recap of October 21st through 25th, 2024. We did have a Port Charles pipeline from, this is super cute, on Twitter. It's Halla Lily, which we had spoken back and forth before about other things. However, for Halloween, it's C Howl a Lily. So it's C-HOWL-ALIL. And she sent us a screenshot. It was first thing Monday morning, 10 a.m. Feel heard because of your episode title this week. Love your podcast as always. Thank you. So I don't know if she even had listened to it at this point, but just saw what we had titled it. Aww. And sent a screenshot. So it also says that she really does listen because she knows that we really don't pay attention to Twitter. She sent a screenshot of Frank Valentini 2 days ago. So that would have been that Friday, saying Holly and Sasha's family secrets sent everyone in Port Charles reeling. And she is even still tweeting back now. I don't know.
And
it says, I have loved this show forever, but no, just no. And then 10th Floor chimed in and all right, part of it is kind of fuzzed out, but I think I can read it. And it says, paternity tests are designed to look for one thing, the subject's father, not their uncle, not their niece, not their brother, not their cousin.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's true.
Which we can just talk about all of that with when we talk about this week. So we did mess up a little bit on last week's 411 with Lucky and Liz. We said that Lucky was number 7 and he was actually number 8. Not like that really matters. However, this week is going to be Lucky and Liz part 6, Lucky part 9.
Okay.
All right.
You can never have too much Lucky, so I don't feel bad for this numbering.
That is very true. So then Hulu headlines. I think we talked about this though. It seems like some of what they wind up talking about on the show is what we wind up talking about around the same week. Like it's either the week before or the week after they want to talk about it. So maybe once we start talking about Lucky and Liz actually getting together as a romantic couple, they'll get together as a romantic couple.
There you go.
On the show, as long as they don't ruin it like the rest of the show.
We spoke it into fruition.
Yes, we did. Okay, so on Monday, Sam visits Drew and Jason. Laura seeks solace. Lucky is persuasive. Holly and Robert have a fateful encounter. Liz consoles Lucas. Should have been fatal.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Listen, I like Holly. The last time made sense because we had seen her before COVID. We had seen the video of her being locked up. So finding out that she was okay, whatever, blah, fine. It ended the relationship with Robert. She moved on. This is unnecessary.
Yep.
There, we just finished what we were going to talk about with her, right? That was it?
Right?
Especially, okay, again, I like Holly. I like Emma Sams. Like, I like her. She never stays around for long.
Yep. All right,
I'm sorry.
So we can go off on it.
Okay. On Tuesday. Maxie shares a secret with Spinelli. Rick brings news to Elizabeth. Nina is appalled. Jocelyn and Dex enjoy a night out. And then Anna and Holly have it out. On Wednesday, Sunny is weary. Molly confronts Nick. Rick. Curtis makes a promise to Portia. Trina gets support from Gio. Holly seeks assistance. On Thursday, I'm sorry, I feel like we're just going to be complaining about the show right now. And I feel like for 5.5 years, we have done a really good job of, we don't hate the show. We love the show. This is why we're upset right now.
Yep.
On Thursday, Sam and Lulu's imminent procedure draws loved ones to the hospital. Curtis enacts a plan. Brennan fields a crisis. Carly makes her case to Jason. Are you kidding me?
Oh, no.
Steve Weber returns.
Oh, my God.
First of all, it's Steven.
Oh, Stephen Lars, actually.
Right? Right? That one took me by surprise because I did not know that at all. Did you know that?
Either. Nope.
The second I saw the pants, I was like, oh, no. And then that's actually when I text you. So we had talked about possibly recording earlier. And that's why I was like, wait, when are you going? Because I was just so, okay. And then Friday, Elizabeth gets happy surprise. See, that could have left out Steven Weber.
Yep.
And put in Elizabeth gets a happy surprise. And that's that. Sasha confides in Nina. Diane is stunned. Anna checks in on Laura. And Alexis awaits news on Sam. I am checking. Nope, it is Steven. Although now on fandom it says Steve. It's Steven, right? Like we've always called him. It's always been Steven Lars. It's Steve Weber. Okay, Steve Weber is who, but it's still like you always just refer to him as Steven.
Mm-hmm.
Because Steve is Hardy. So it's like.
Yeah, because even whenever Liz saw him, she didn't say Steve.
But I do think that Olivia called him Steve.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like he was too young for her. She just said it to make him sound a little older.
True. I don't think so, though. Hold it.
She called Johnny Jonathan.
Hold on one quick second. All right. We're not going to get into this right now because I just possibly squirreled.
Stop.
Okay, no. I will look at it later. Sorry. However, but no, I don't think that we're alone in when you think of Steven Weber, it's Steven Weber, right?
Yeah.
Let us know if you remember this guy. And what did you call him? What do you refer to him as? I feel like the only time I ever said Steve was when it was in reference to Olivia, because it was Steve and Olivia.
Yeah. But I don't know. Okay. It's Steven Lars all the time now because that's the way that Heather refers to him. And Heather is someone that talks about him the majority of the time.
So we are standing by. All right. So where are we starting again? I'm sorry.
Okay. So I feel like we should just start with the things that we hated and then end on the things that we liked.
What
like
time
we did
do you have
last
to be done
week.
Again?
So I'm going to start with Portia because I hate Portia and I say it every week. And this week, she really made me upset at the fact that she was acting like she was the only person who should be upset that Heather's getting out of prison.
Mm-hmm.
She made it all about her, like she always does. Then she turned around and told Trina, like, you're coming home with us. You're going to move back in with us. And Trina was like, sorry, in case you forgot, I'm an adult woman. And I'm an adult woman that lives on an estate with many other people, a gated estate, I would assume. And I have a roommate. No, I don't want to come home. You work all the time because in case you forgot, you're the co-chief at the hospital. And Marshall just left, so he's not home. Like, he's going off to do his music stuff. And Curtis is busy. So I am more just as safe at my own house than coming home to be with you. And then Portia went off again and started talking about how the judge wouldn't care if it was someone else's daughter, if it was Jocelyn or whatever, blah, 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 blah. And like we've talked about this before, I am a little white girl, so I'm not even going to get into the injustices that other culture or the other ethnicities have to face. But she didn't bring up the fact that it would also have been reversed if Heather was not a white woman. Like, this isn't just about...
Oh, that's a really interesting point.
Like, Heather
would her case have been relooked at if...
Right. That's the angle. that I feel like if she wanted to fight in court, that's what she should be fighting for. Is I feel like you are giving this white woman liberties that I don't think you would give if she was a man, if she was of a different color, blah, 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 blah. Let's fight from that angle. Like, let's start a real fight from that angle instead of just standing in my husband's club whining about how no one cares that my daughter may be in danger.
Well, and all of the victims, except Rory, were white.
Right.
Like the actual successful victims. And yes, Heather, how did we find out that Trina was ultimately the target? But it's not like Heather, she killed all these people thinking they were Trina. Like, it's, and again, same thing with me. You know, it's I don't understand. I don't have that perspective. But that was the first thing I thought was, but everyone that was actually killed, was. And I mean, it's horrible that Trina was her target.
But Trina wasn't her target.
Trina was her target. It was because Trina took Esme's love. And I feel like no matter who that would have been, Heather would have been having the same reaction.
Exactly.
And
Thank you for...
I mean, Trina's not even bringing it up. Trina's not even saying, now, did she say something? I do agree. Like, Trina still was not treated fairly whenever it came to Esme and...
Right.
The sex tape and stuff like that. Like, that was not investigated. The revenge sex tape, right? That's what it was called. Like, that whole thing was a mess. Trina was not given a good outcome from that. But like Trina said, I've lived in fear for over a year because of Esme and her mother. I'm done.
Exactly.
And that needs to be enough. And and I hope that, I mean, if you're newer to our show, like, we definitely don't mean this is where, you know, we don't know that side, but that's at least, I was on the same lines. I'm like,
if Heather would have been going after Trina because Heather was prejudiced and hated people of color, and Trina was a person of color, and so that's why she wanted to kill her, I would 100% be with Portia. Like, this is ridiculous, blah, 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 blah. If it would have been the reverse, then it wouldn't be handled this way. I totally would have been with it. But I just felt like her case was wrong. It should have been more about, why is Heather getting off so easy? Are we giving her an advantage because of either her community connections, because of the color of her skin, or what? Not that we're not protecting Trina just because of the color of her skin. Because I really don't think that's what it is. I think it's a judge that is like, oh, hey, this girl was sick because of cobalt poisoning, and I don't want another lawsuit being brought that I have to be part of or dealing with, that we are discriminating against people with medical issues. So I'm just going to let her go. Who cares?
Right. And we don't know who all the other people are that are in this class action lawsuit.
Right.
You know, because they're probably not all incarcerated. You know, it could just be people that maybe have had different mental health issues or different lifestyle changes, where maybe they used to be more active and now they're not. And maybe, you know, whatever, like, however, the cobalt poisoning has changed their quality of life there. But also, this kind of goes back to why Heather was even the hook to begin with, because it wasn't Heather. It was... She was crazy. She was bonkers. She was who we're seeing now, you know, with a little bit of delusion. And she did try to kill people before, but never like this. Never like, it was never a child either. And yes, we understand that they are adults, but she never went after kids, you know, even though Trina and Esme and Spencer were all late teens, early 20s. I still feel like that was so I feel like this is their way of excusing away the massive character change they made in her with that. But I don't know.
I just, like I said, total disclaimer, I will be the first person to admit that I do not understand. But that's what I love about GH, is they bring storylines that you don't understand forward to educate you. And I would love an education on how unfair this discrimination against people is. I would like to be educated. Portia whining and crying the way that she does not make me want to get invested or learn. It makes me want to turn my TV off. So can we find a different way? Like, please. I don't know how
I'm
else
with
to
you.
say it. I don't know how else to say it, because
I wish that she had almost like referenced a real life case that then we could go Google and be like, oh, this is how that played out, you know, and this is where she's coming from. But yeah, I'm just not, I'm with you. I'm not seeing it as that.
Right. No,
but then Curtis decides that he's going to take matters into his own hands and calls up Stephen Lars and tells him to come to Port Charles. First of all, isn't there a rule with felons not being able to stay with felons for so long after they're let out?
I don't know. There's another thing I don't know about.
Because that was on Desperate Housewives, and that's how Bree blackmailed Orson. Because remember, she hired one of his buddies from prison to come hang out with him, and she had a PI because Orson wasn't letting her out of the marriage, and she just wanted to go be. I think that's when she was with Carl, and she was like, I have these photos showing you with your felon and you're not allowed to be with another felon. And I don't know if they're family, if that maybe if they don't commit the same felony. I
don't know.
Do you want to do Stephen Lars this week instead of Lucky?
Sure. Now I need an education on all of this. See?
All right. So mid-decision, switch up. We're going to do Stephen Lars instead of Lucky because I am looking at his fandom and it's fairly... I'm not going to go crazy on research, but it looks like there's enough that we'll get answers. So I have a feeling, like he said, he's not being around for a while. So at least give us a little bit here. So, but I did think that there was something, and I especially feel like first of all, a judge has to approve who she's being released to, don't they?
I thought so, but again, that's only from my TV knowledge.
That's same-ish. I do actually have someone I could ask, but I'm not going to do that right this second. But it's also not on the same level.
Right, exactly. So even though my ex is a police officer, like I never got that deep into cases. He never was that deep into cases. He just takes them to jail. He's not involved in all the rest of that. So I don't know, especially about being released, how that works.
Yeah. How are felons released? How is it determined? How is it determined where a felon goes after release? Again, with my Google searches. And there's the whole thing where she's probably going to have to be somewhat monitored. So she's probably not able to actually leave the area.
No, she asked that. Remember? She asked Rick that. She said, check in with parole officer, ankle monitor, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, no, you're just good to go. You're done.
Oh, that's right, because they're vacating her sentence. Never mind. Ignore everything that I just said in the past, 2 minutes. I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm sorry for having wasted your time with that question.
That's okay, because I didn't catch it until you asked the very specific question. I'm like, no, wait, they did say that.
That's right. So that's why she is able to be released. And then Curtis, dude, I love you. Kind of been getting on my bad side, supporting Portia through all this. Stephen Lars is an adult, but he is still an adult child of Heather's. And children are not responsible for their parents' actions ever, no matter how old they are. So you could be in your 50s and you are still not responsible for your parents. You are not responsible for their bad behavior. You are not responsible to make them better. You are not responsible for fixing their mistakes.
Right.
So there's that. I was pretty upset about that one.
I just feel like,
or he's going to have to, what did he say? So I went, OMG, Steven Weber, exclamations. Because we talked about it a few weeks ago when Liz was told that he was released and living in Arizona. We hear about these people all the time and they never come back. So you're just like, oh, cool. Update on Stephen Lars.
And again, if it would have been Trina who was like we talked about last week, I can't leave my house. I'm so scared. I'm whatever. And he was doing it for Trina, I would be like, okay, yeah, again, as a parent, you overstep boundaries sometimes to protect your kids. He's doing this just because Portia is whining.
Right. And what he said was that Curtis says it's about family. He needs to protect his, and Steve needs to take responsibility for his.
You are not responsible for your mother.
Nope.
Even as an adult.
Nope. He needs to leave town, take Heather with him, go far away, and Curtis will supplement his income as long as Heather leaves and stays gone. And if he doesn't, Stephen Lars said that he didn't want to be responsible for what Heather does. And Curtis says, then he will be responsible for what becomes of her. That was the thing that also kind of, no.
Right.
your parents making their own bad choices is their own bad choice. And what happens there is their consequences, not yours.
Right.
Look at my therapy working.
Woohoo!
Whoop, whoop. Oh, okay. Where can we go from there?
All right. So we got that we hate Portia out of the way.
Yes. Do we just want to talk about how it actually really happened, though, was the fact that Rick got the phone call saying that Heather was going to be released, and he went to the Savoy to tell Portia and Curtis privately, and Portia decided to be a 5-year-old and say, no, Rick, you have something to say. Say it in front of everybody. This is Marshall's party. How about you take over?
Right, exactly. Did we even see Marshall more than like 5 seconds for him to be like, thanks for everybody coming. Yeah, I'm going on the road. And then another 5 seconds for Trina to be like, hey, this is my friend. He plays the violin. And then it was like, okay, well, bye, Marshall. Now this party is all about Portia and her temper tantrum. And then just to make it even more ridiculous, we're going to throw TJ and Molly in there. And Molly's going to be like, don't talk bad about my dad. And TJ's going to be like, you are freaking crazy. This is nuts. And we're going to give them another thing to be angry at each other about, even though they have managed their entire relationship that they have been in since they were children to not let their family crap get into their relationship at all. Now today, suddenly, Rick is going to be another big divider for the two of them, that TJ is leaving and Molly's going to stay with her daddy because he did nothing wrong.
I did like so Portia made Rick tell everybody, and then Curtis starts yelling at him about, you told me this wasn't going to happen. He's like, I didn't think I would. Rick never said that this was not going to happen.
No.
And Rick said that he never thought that it would be vacated. He thought that she would be sent to like a mental health facility
Right.
or like something to like rehab her
Step down
in general.
Yeah.
And he's like, we had her blood tested multiple times. Like, she's not guilty of this. You know,
Right.
She is guilty of what she did. Absolutely. And that's why I definitely think that Rick thought that she was going to be going to some kind of like a Shady Brook or something, you know, which especially since she is a repeat offender with stuff like that.
Right. I did agree with him, as much as I hate Rick, I did agree with him that no one in their right mind would have thought that vacating the sentence was the reality that was going to happen from this.
Yeah. And then,
because she was in prison when she committed these crimes, right?
Yeah,
she escaped prison.
Back. Or no, was she in Shady Brook? We did this whole thing on her. Where was she?
Right.
She was coming in and out of somewhere. Yeah.
Yes. So it's that's why I don't understand why. I mean, I get for like the soap writing why, but I don't understand how this is a logical idea for them to even write. It would be one thing if she was free, living a normal life. All of a sudden, this cobalt poisoning hit her like a ton of bricks. She went crazy, killed some people. Now the cobalt's gone and she's back to being a normal person. I can understand then being like, all right, time served and blah, 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 blah. We're just going to let this go. It was absolutely the cobalt poisoning. You were already in a facility for your bad actions that you then escaped from to commit more bad actions. I don't understand how we're just like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, you're fine. Go ahead.
Right. And Molly did what any healthy relationship, parent, sibling, friends, like, you don't argue with the person in public about your personal, because she's right, legally. She was like, this wasn't even up to my dad.
Right. And everyone's
sorry,
like,
I have a whole.
You chose to represent her. Okay, we should all know that there would be another slimy attorney, and it was another slimy attorney. It was supposed to be Scott. Scott is who started all of this.
But he wasn't wrong though. Like in this case, in this instance, not wrong. Like there's been some really public, big profile cases that I'm like, that person's definitely not a good person at all. But the evidence doesn't fit this. Like it's just not. I'm like, so I understand how certain things have worked out certain ways. But then at home, Molly's like, seriously, like if you're feeling guilty about this whole thing, how about you don't work with Ava? But it's the same thing. He really wants to defend Ava. And I really actually did like his explanation for it with, she needs to see that it was an accident. And I did like that he didn't say it was Christina's fault, right? He didn't say that it was Christina's fault.
No, he did not say that it was Christina's fault. He wants her to understand that ultimately it was an accident. Like, yes, Christina, in his opinion, Christina should not have gone there. And that makes her at fault for the circumstances that played out. But the actual death of the baby was not Christina's fault.
Right. And I liked that he said, I have spent so much of my life and I can see where you are going. You know, he's like, you're reminding me of how I kind of started going down this path and I don't want this for you. And I did like that. I know you don't like Rick, but I did like that.
I just don't like Rick because he's such a slime ball in like every aspect. Like even when he was talking to Heather to tell her that her sentence was vacated, he was like, who can you call? And she was like, I don't know. Could I go stay with, I don't remember who she said first. Laura. Oh, can I go stay with Laura?
Oh, that was funny.
And,
I'm sorry. Hold it. How are you not going to like this? I thought it was funny.
No, he was a jerk. She's like, can you go stay with Laura? Can I go stay with Laura? No, because she has some family stuff going on. Can I go stay with Alexis? Or I miss Alexis. And he was like, said no one ever, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, if you were sitting with your friend, like I totally would say that to you about my ex or whatever.
Right.
But if I was in a professional setting,
speaking to a client.
Yeah, I would not say that. I would not say that.
Yeah.
So, I
liked she has a lot of family stuff going on right now. And then when she brought up Alexis, he's like, so she actually has a lot of family stuff going on right now that actually coincides with Laura's family stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought that was funny because it was like he was kind of saying, oh, yeah, that's right. It's actually kind of the same thing, but not really. And
Right. No, I was okay with him telling her family stuff going on. But him making a nasty comment about Alexis is uncalled for. Like, you're a grown man. You guys have been divorced for quite some time. You should not still be harboring feelings against her that you need to make side comments like that. Might make some people think that you're hung up on her, sir.
Yeah, but she does the same thing.
I guess, but not to a client. She says it to Diane.
Yeah, she didn't even say it to Heather whenever she was trying to help her. Well,
nope.
You know, there's a difference between men and women, so.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, we'll get on that topic. This will be a 6-hour podcast.
I know. On our next podcast, on our Pier 1-1 After Dark, or Pier 1-1.
Pier 1-1.
I have not had a drink today.
Right? Pier, the host of, the After Dark of Pier 54 hosts.
Yes.
But that still is too long.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, it'll be a little bonus episode. You know how
off the pier with Amanda and Shannon.
How some podcasts do like the bonus episodes that they charge for. That can be the one that we charge like $2 for. Do you want to know our real Cray? You got to tune in.
You want to charge $2 a minute? Sorry.
I mean,
anyway. All right, where can we go from there?
Who else do I hate this week? Let me see.
Oh, real quick. Joss and Dex left the party and then they went and had talks at Dex's place, and Joss was like, do you ever think that you should have killed her? Referring to Heather. And he's like, all the time. And then they, that's an aphrodisiac for them.
Which is fine for Joss to ask and fine for Dex to say, yeah, he wishes. But if Sunny would have said that exact same statement, Joss would have been like, oh my God, you're such a horrible person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. And I think it's weird that they're still like focusing so much on the grown-up scenes between Dex and her. Like, they've done it 1,000 times by now. It is not the same. Like, the first time, maybe even the second time, you're like, oh yeah, they're finally having grown-up time and like whatever. I don't need to see it every single time that they do it. I just don't. So
no, and I know that that's like the thing that soaps are known for, whatever, but it's not even romance. It's not even like,
all it does is make me
that's
jealous.
Just a Tuesday.
Not that I could have not that I could have done it at her age anyway, but it just makes me jealous of how like in shape she is. Whenever she like jumps on him and wraps her arms or her legs around him, I'm like, man, I wish I had that core strength. That's all I'm thinking.
That takes work.
Someone tell me her workout routine that I still won't follow, but I'll be jealous of how she can just jump on him and do that. But the other parts of it, nope, not interested. What was I gonna say? Oh, I also am angry and annoyed. What are they doing to Brad and Lucas? Okay. Lucas went to Brad first day and was like, listen, we are just going to be working alongside each other when we absolutely have to. I have no desire to do anything else, blah, 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 blah. And then it is like Brad, because it's Brad, to cross the line and give him his favorite donut or whatever the heck it was before surgery. But then he's the one that like seeks out Brad and is like, oh, have fun at the game. Whenever we went, it was inning number whatever, blah, blah, blah. What are you doing?
Yeah.
That is not fair.
Especially when you know where he's trying, to, I know that we saw Brad say to Cody, maybe Lucas will forgive me. Yay, swoon. But as far as Brad has really expressed to Lucas, I feel like it's been more friendship steps, even though like he did buy him the pastry and, stuff like that. I feel like Brad's been doing pretty decent at not trying to jump the gun and think that they're immediately going to get back together, blah, 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 blah.
And
but yes, for Lucas to say that, but like I still feel weird when my ex and I have been separated. My daughter just turned 21 since she was 6 months old. And I still feel weird when I will say something like, oh yeah, I saw so-and-so. They said hi. No, like, I don't feel weird. Like it's weird talking about those things, or like in the rare chance that we're ever like really doing something. And it's like, oh, hey, remember when this, or like if I go to tell the kids, oh yeah, well, when your dad and I were together, we did this. And it's like, is that really necessary? It's kind of the,
right.
But
especially,
you know what it's like? It's like the guy that I wound up having to block because he kept texting me after I'd been married to JD for quite some time. And he'd be like, oh, I'm here now, remembering how we used to come here with the gang. And I'm like, first of all, they were my friends and you complain about it all the time. And now you're DJing there on the weekend. Okay, fine. And I was like, I'm married now. He's like, so am I. I said, then talk to your wife about this stuff. And I blocked him. Because guess what I do? When I have gone somewhere, if I have a memory that pops up of an ex, I tell JD. Because like, that's not a thing. Like it's, oh yeah, like I went here for the first time with, like the first time I took him to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I was like, oh yeah, the last time I was here was with Dingbat.
Right. Right. But because you're not reminiscing, your reminiscence isn't like, oh, I wish I was here with him again. It is, oh, I remember I had fun when I came with Joe Schmo, so I'm going to have even more fun with you because I actually really like you.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
How do you feel whenever your ex texts you, you were in my dream last night? Because those are the messages I get, okay? And if Brad would be sending those messages, we would be very angry and tell him to take a step back. But Brad is the person who we know has regretted repeatedly his mistakes and has made it not clear, like he's not shouting it from the rooftops, but everyone can look at Brad for 2 seconds and be like, yeah, you wish you were with Lucas. It's not a secret. Lucas is the one who is like, understandably, dude, I can't be with you anymore. It's over. Stop giving false hope. Yeah. That's not nice.
And if Lucas were in another relationship, I don't think Brad would be doing a single thing.
Right. Exactly.
I really don't.
I agree. He would have respect for that. Absolutely. But yeah, he totally, it would have been one thing if he would have said, like once Brad said, oh, I was the one that put the cinnamon roll or whatever it was in your locker. If he would have been like, thank you for the cinnamon roll. It is my favorite. Please don't go in my locker. That's crossing a boundary. There, like, boom. Instead, he sees them later and is like, oh, remember whenever we went to the game? Blah, blah, blah. Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
No. Don't
reminisce with me unless you want to reminisce with me.
Exactly. Thank you. But yeah, so I was disappointed in Lucas because I expect better of him. He strikes me as a better man than that.
Mm-hmm. Why do I have a feeling that Isaiah is going to be gay and they're going to get him and Lucas together?
Okay, so I kept having that feeling, but then I was also very confused because...
with Jordan, I'm sorry.
Yes. And because it seemed like he already had an established relationship with women from the fact that Lucky instantly was like, don't be flirting with Elizabeth, don't be whatever, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Where if he is gay, then Lucky would have been like, stay away from my cousin Lucas, blah, 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 or something like that. You know what I mean? And then he shows up and is flirty with Liz, super flirty with Jordan, but then super flirty with Lucas too, which not that you can't have interest.
But even if it's not just one, Lucky would have been all encompassing. Just don't flirt with the general hospital staff.
Right.
I got you.
Yeah. So again, not saying that
specific about that. Yeah.
Isaiah can like men and women both. That is fine, but don't be playing with people's hearts like that. Like, again, Jordan's not under that impression.
Hey, she remembered that she's a kidney transplant recipient this week, though.
Oh my God. I was trying to not hate on her because I already hated on Portia. And I can only hate on
Jordan this week.
Just that she is so like stupid. She is. We talked about this before. Strong, powerful woman, like in command of that whole legal everything. And then now she's back to like, oh, geez, some man should tell me what to think or what to say because I can't do anything on my own. And that annoys me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because all she said was, because that's the thing, like she said in response to him saying that the odds were not good. Oh, because that was what Terry had to tell Laura, is that Lulu also now has something else wrong with her.
Oh, right.
Will make it difficult for her. It'll basically be almost impossible for her to receive this transplant and have, from what I was understanding, like any quality of life. And it's portal vein thrombosis. The successful transplant are more difficult. In all likelihood, it will not save Lulu. And then Isaiah couldn't tell her the specifics. And then she's like, well, I had low odds, and here I am, just ran 6 miles, show off. But yeah, that counteracts the science thing that she was so impressed with last week.
Right. I think that
maybe Jordan doesn't know how to flirt. Maybe she doesn't remember how to flirt. And then what happened with Brick? Are we just dropping Brick now? Are we just dropping Brick?
Okay. You know what? I'll give her she doesn't know how to flirt. I'll leave it at that, because I don't believe that you would forget having a kidney transplant. Again, I've never had one myself. I don't know, but my limited experience, don't think you would forget that. And she was a smart woman before that. Like, do you know what I mean?
It's not her brain.
Like, I know the kidney is not her brain, but her son is a doctor. Okay. Yeah. Again,
doesn't mean she has to be smart.
Okay, are you going to tell me that you don't have a little more knowledge of the art world now that your son is in art school or going to school for art stuff than you did beforehand?
I guess.
Okay.
I'm just saying, but if he was a doctor, I wouldn't know all the mumbo jumbo.
If you were a doctor and had that same surgery performed on you?
Oh, yeah.
So.
But that's a personal experience.
Yeah, I just, like I said, I'll take it as that she doesn't know how to flirt, because I would say things that's stupid too, because I don't know how to flirt. So I would probably be like, oh yeah, I didn't know anything about that. And then the next week, the guy would be like, I thought you didn't know anything about that. And yet, like, you have a 5-year, like podcasting. I feel like, oh no, I don't know how that works, which actually isn't not a true statement, but podcasting, something with that. And then they would be like, you've had a podcast for all these years. You act like you've never heard of one before. And I'd be like, oh no, I've heard of one. It's ours. That's the only one I know of. So.
But the other stuff.
Yeah. I can still say I'm ignorant to all of that, because I will give all the credit in the world to you, because I am totally ignorant to it. But you know what I mean? Like, I just don't like that they're making her forget that she has any type of life or any type of life experiences or any type of intelligence whenever she gets around this man. Like, please tell me everything. And the fact that she's so impressed by him being a doctor, it seems like, which I'm not saying that being a doctor is not impressive, but I feel like if my son was a doctor, I would be less impressed by other doctors.
Yeah, that's true. Especially if you don't even have really any reference other than the fact that he's kind of repeatedly said he doesn't do it anymore. Like, he's not a surgeon. He's not.
Like, maybe he was a horrible doctor.
Then we found
he killed a whole bunch of people.
Well, that's what I'm kind of wondering. He's such good friends with Lucky. Like, I don't know. I feel like Lucky is a good enough judge of character that he would not have accidentally become friends with, like, an angel of mercy.
Right.
Ooh, what if he is? but what if he is? No, because he said that he just ran away and started practicing different medicine in Africa because do you think that he was performing surgery on a family member and that's what happened?
Yes, that's what I'm assuming.
Me too. So yeah, it's definitely, I don't know. I'm so confused by all this. And then Sam was able to sign away papers saying that she wants Lucas to be the one to do it. And I don't know. I love you. I wouldn't trust you to be my surgeon.
Oh, heck no. And I wouldn't want to put that pressure on you.
No, that's what I'm saying is like, I feel like it'd be even more pressure on everything. Like you really can't. I wouldn't even want to be a dentist on a family member.
Right. Yeah. Too much pressure.
I don't know. I don't know how Lucas is going to do it too, because okay, old Lucas also was confident, but not arrogant. And I feel like, what Grey's Anatomy has constantly said, like you have to have like a healthy level of arrogance to be a doctor anyway.
Right.
But I don't know. I feel like that's almost stupidity.
Right.
But
I don't.
especially, I'm sorry. And if Sam gets a say in whether or not she continues to donate because of the complication, shouldn't Lulu's family also have the right to say if they're comfortable with her brother, their nephew, cousin being involved in the surgery too? Because even though he said he's only doing Sam's.
Yeah, he's only doing Sam's.
And Isaiah's doing Lulu's.
Right.
Okay. I don't know. We can move on from that. That's a lot.
I don't know. I feel bad. I just feel bad for Lucas having to perform the surgery.
Yeah. And then Dante told Cody about Sam being a match, and Dante feels guilty for not having been there for Sam during all the stuff with her family. And, he's like, I'm asking the woman I love to save. And then he trails off and Cody finishes the sentence with the other woman you love. And then Dante's like, I'm always going to love Lulu. She's the mother of Rocco. But, I did like that though, where he's like, he's never going to deny that and he still loved Lulu. He talked about that with Sunny. I didn't get a chance to tell Lulu how I felt before boom. And we find out that Maxie told Spinelli that Lulu turned down Dustin's proposal.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Oh, but Dante did ask Cody just to take the kids out for some trail rides to keep them busy while they're staying at the Quartermains the next few days, which that was sweet.
Yeah, I love Cody. I love Maxie and Spinelli, though, but we're missing out on them. Why aren't we getting to see more of their interaction? Like, they both have said somewhat recently about, like, this is forever now or whatever. And then she's sharing information about Lulu that's like you share some information about your friends, but then there's, like, next level, like, I'm confiding in you because we're, like, one person now. And so I can tell you this and trust you're not going to tell anyone. And that's where she's at. So we should get to see them being cute.
Oh, there's still stuff don't tell JD. If a friend tells me something, I am not under I think we've talked about this. I am not of if it's between you and me, it's between you and me. Like, right. That doesn't automatically mean spouse or significant other.
But there's some stuff that even whenever you know that your friend doesn't care who knows, you still don't like openly share it with like just a boyfriend. But when they hit that next level of significant other, you're like, oh my gosh, like you have to care about this just because I care about this, even though you probably don't care about this.
Well, and especially where she is now, where she's like, shoot, maybe I should tell Dante now, just in case Lulu wakes up and is like, oh, hey, did you happen to tell him?
Right. FYI.
Because that's what she is. She's like never thought about telling him because what was the point? And now it might be actually point.
Right.
So like, hey, just so you know, this is where she was thinking. So if she's still thinking it was 4 years ago.
Exactly.
This could be where she wakes up.
Right.
I feel like that's kind of a fairish thing to maybe bring up in front of Kevin.
I would like to know why we think that she's going to wake up, though.
I know.
Because the issue with her kidney is not the reason she's in the coma.
Right.
Like what's wrong? What's wrong with Lulu is actually what my older sister passed away from. She was not in a coma before she passed away. So fixing that does not mean that Lulu's going to wake up from her coma.
I didn't realize that was actually what.
Yeah, cirrhosis of the liver is usually caused by alcoholism. And my sister had struggles, as everyone in my family does, struggles with alcohol. So, yeah, and like she knew about it, and it definitely caused bad feelings for her physically if she didn't listen and continue drinking because your liver is telling you no, don't do that. But it did not throw her into a coma. So fixing the liver is not going to pull Lulu magically out of a coma.
Right.
So, I mean, I hope Lulu, like, for their sake, again, if it was real life, I'd be like, oh yeah, I hope that your mom gets her liver transplant and then wakes up. But I'm not sure why we're automatically connecting one to the other.
Right.
I don't understand how one equates to the other because,
I have not. Why do I feel like we actually talked about this before? And I'm still going to say that I hadn't thought about that.
No,
I just keep forgetting. Like, even if it touched on it.
I think we talked about it because, like, they kept saying, like, and then maybe she'll wake up. Like, in the beginning, it was kind of like, oh, we're going to fix all of her other medical issues so that there's nothing holding her back from waking up if she wants to wake up.
Well, and then there's poor Rocco that is, I mean, he's telling Sam she's his hero. Like, thank you so much for saving my mom. Did they not tell him that there's still a chance that this could not work?
Right.
Like, even before finding out this thrombosis thing, like, even in the best case scenario.
And I also didn't like, this had nothing to do with Lulu's survival or not survival, but I did not like that he wanted to stay home from school. He wanted to stay at the hospital instead of go to school. And Dante was like, well, I can't make that parenting decision on myself. I have to go ask Sam. First of all, Sam shouldn't be bothered by that because she's in her own hospital room dealing with her own whatever stuff. And second of all, I know that you guys live together and whatever, but this is a little bit bigger than that. And yeah, you should be able to tell your kid you can stay here at the hospital and do your homework as long as you're getting your work done.
And each kid's different. So yes, some might be better going to school, staying busy, keeping your mind off it, whatever.
Right.
Or
like Sam's kids, where Sam was like, go to school. You're not going to do anything here except for worry. It's better that you go to school.
Right. And like when I was 9 months pregnant with my son, my baby sister missed school almost every day. He was born on a Saturday, and I think she didn't go Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday because she was so worried she was going to miss me going into labor.
Aww.
And then I went in on a Saturday. But still, like she did not want to miss it. And she would have been useless going to school, and it was before virtual and all that stuff.
Right, right.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he wanted Sam's input because of Scout and Danny.
I still feel like that's just complicating things. Like, you can make your own decisions.
You mean men can parent on their own?
They can. It's not called babysitting. It's parenting.
What?
Yep, it exists.
They're not watching their kids?
No, not watching. Actually, just being a parent.
Wait, are they not just good dads because they change a diaper? Or because they make a decision like that?
Nope.
My gosh, that's amazing.
I know.
This is all new information.
I can leave Madeline with Ryan and go out and not get a phone call about what she needs to eat or her bedtime. He can make those decisions.
Seriously?
All by himself. Right?
So can JD.
They both deserve medals because apparently that's not just parenting. It's being...
That's not just being an adult?
Nope. Being a hero. Those are our men.
And we're so lucky because obviously no one else would have ever been with us because we had kids.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we really need to appreciate that.
We should.
And never be upset with them ever. Because they're bare minimum adulting.
Yep.
I'm not saying that they always bare minimum adult. I'm saying that that's our standard because we were single moms. So that is the standard that we are supposed to have is bare minimum.
Yeah.
Cool.
We should probably take them out for a very expensive dinner and buy them a new car or something because
we should wear something fancy and a little.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, we are all over the place today. Okay.
And we weren't drinking.
No, and we're not even together.
Yeah, that makes it all the better.
All right.
This episode is brought to you by L'Oreal Paris and their Revitalift filler range. If you're looking for a glass skin glow, try Revitalift filler serum and plumping water cream. Powered by hyaluronic acid, L'Oreal's filler serum hydrates skin and replumps fine lines in just 1 hour. Then lock in that hydration and plump with the filler water cream. Right now, the range is half price at Boots until the 21st of October, subject to availability. Shop the Revitalift filler serum and water cream at Boots now.
So, and before she went in the hospital, though, Sam told Drew and Jason that she's a match for Lulu, and she got it all done out of the way. You know, she asked them to work together with the kids. You know, she asked Jason, hey, can you come hang out at the Quartermains a little bit more? She did ask him for no bike, and he said, whatever you say, I'll do.
Right.
So, yeah. And then we saw her be wheeled off. Molly and Christina were not there. Alexis was.
Right. Because Molly and Christina couldn't stop fighting. So they're just not even going to show up at the hospital to say, I hope everything's okay. Because that was the day beforehand that had happened. Because she said, I have to go check myself into the hospital. I have surgery tomorrow. Right. So
I think.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was surgery the next day. So we're not going to go say, hey, I love you. Good luck to our sister the day of surgery.
Call a truce, you know, nothing. Okay.
Right. When we live in the same city as them. And like, although we all have jobs, we're never actually at them, but we still don't have time to go and say, I hope you're okay. All right. Which is totally not David's sister way either. Like they all come together for those last like important moments. You're going to surgery. Your sisters would be there, according to the way we've been told the Davis girls are. Mm-hmm. But okay. Just very annoying.
Sam wheeled away and so my first instinct was she threw up the medal sign. And it was the I love you sign.
It was the I love you sign. And supposedly that was unscripted.
Yeah. So that was cute.
That was cute. All right, what else did we not talk about?
I did like that. So I guess Portia did one good thing this week and was let Alexis and Diane work in her office while Sam was in surgery. And their girlfriend relationship is so good.
I love their girlfriend relationship. Could not believe that no one had bothered to tell Diane that Heather was getting out, though.
I know.
That was crazy. Alexis just like, blah, blah, blah. And, Heather getting out. And Diane's like, wait, what? Back up.
Well, it's not even like she asked, oh, by the way, how do you feel about it? Assuming she would know. It was just straight.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she wanted to change the subject from Heather and Sam. And she's like, so did you see Holly yet?
Right.
And Diane's like, yeah, I saw her with Sunny. And I like Alexis being like, wait, how do they even know each other? Maybe through Luke or something, but that doesn't make sense. And I like that she kind of just started to spiral a little bit and then was like, yeah, oh well.
That whole scene made me mad too. And I loved that
Holly and Sunny.
Yeah, I loved that Sunny finally was like, yeah, you're not my type. Like,
that was funny.
You can just stop. Because when she first was like, I hope this is the beginning of a long relationship. Well, I was like, no, they cannot put them together. So I was happy when he's like, yeah, no.
So she went to him because we discovered that, we knew she had the diamonds, but she dumped out a whole bag of them on his desk. And there's no serial number. They're not marked. They're not registered. And he's like, yeah, except for you definitely got these from somebody else. Right. So you think they're not coming after you?
Right.
Because, how did she find out that, Anna came and told her, Sidwell was spotted in Miami.
Yes.
Did that happen first? That happened before? I think that happened before she went to see Sunny.
I think so. I was surprised and happy that Jason was like so in the open with the information, because Carly called him and was like, listen, if you know something else, like I need you to tell the WSB guy because there's like some bad stuff going on. And he was like, oh yeah, he didn't say I didn't know this before though. I wish he would have clarified. Like, I did not know this the first time we talked.
I felt like kind of the way that he said it, because Brennan asked if he said that he thought Holly was up to something and then but Jason saw, because Jason saw him after he saw Sunny. So Jason didn't ask Brennan, why did she steal something? And then say, I just came from, he's not going to turn Sunny in though.
Right. No, I didn't expect him to say anything that would turn Sunny in, but I was just surprised that he admitted, like, oh yeah, Holly's got some diamonds that weren't hers.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess Jason's going to help with that. And she has like almost 100 million. And now she's also trying to go con Cody. Yep.
After she knows not only is Cody Sasha's boyfriend, even though they can't be that anymore, she knows that that's freaking Mac's son. Mm-hmm. You want to know why Mac doesn't like you?
Right? I am glad that she did not tell him who Sasha is until Sasha came in and told him because Sasha saw Holly with Cody.
Yes. But Sasha had been up in his bedroom. He's like, why are you in my bedroom? I was looking for you.
Holly
I'm sorry.
was in his bedroom. Holly was in his bedroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? It was weird. If I was looking for you, I wouldn't feel like walking into your bedroom. No.
Yeah.
I just don't like her. I so don't like her back this time. I like you said at the beginning, totally always for her coming back, and the little like spark is her and Robert, yes or no, blah, blah, blah. But now it's like we just threw her in the middle of this to cause chaos that was 100% unnecessary.
It really isn't. And like you said, who hates Sasha?
Right. The poor girl.
She's so sweet. Well, because then, so we found out for sure that Robert's her dad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she thought for sure that Holly somehow manipulated those results. And he's like, yeah, no, she couldn't have. So he's like, but we can go do it again.
He was so nice. I loved how, I mean, I would expect nothing less from Robert, but I love how like, he's like, I'm thinking I'm your dad, and like, we'll see what happens next, but I'm not going to pressure you in any way for anything one way or the other. He just kind of stays like hands off, whatever she wants to say or do next. And I liked that she was like, oh, this has nothing to do with you. And he's like, oh, I'm aware. I know. This is more Holly stuff.
Exactly. And he was almost trying to excuse Holly. He's like, well, you know, she did think I was dead for the first 15 years of your life. So.
But that was a lie. Last week they said 12.
She did say 12. She said, what was I going to do? Say you're 12-year-old? Oh, and Anna. When Holly thought that she was going to have like a little bonding moment with Anna. And Anna's like, no, Robin was 5.
Right. Right. And to me, that is like, if I thought you were dead, then I have every reason to have not told you something because I thought you were dead. The second that I find out that you are not dead, I'm going to come to you and be like, hey, sorry, it took me so long. I thought you were dead. And she had already told Sasha that Sasha's dad was dead. So to turn around at 12 and be like, Sasha, actually, something crazy, he wasn't dead. And hey, Robert, I haven't told you before because I thought you were dead. And since you're not dead, here's your daughter, would have been perfect timing. It would have actually been better than what Anna did of just hiding Robin from him.
Well, she hid herself from Robin, though, too.
Right.
She was love to Robin. Robin had no idea that she was even her mother.
Right.
So Anna hid Robin's parents from her, including herself. Like she still had some proximity to her, but also hers was actually still a threat at the time.
Right.
You know, how long has it been that this has not been a threat for Holly?
Right.
You know, even if it was still actively a threat for the first 5 years that he was still alive.
Right.
Or came back from the dead, whatever.
I just wish they'd get their timeline right. Because, all last week they said 12 about 18 times. And then this week they were like 15. And I was like, what? No.
Well, and then he had a flashback to when he and Holly first discussed getting married because she said something about how they didn't have to stay together for very long. And it was, and seriously, just go back and listen to our 411 about Holly Sutton. We fell in love with her.
Yep.
You know, because I feel like the first time you and I really remember Holly would have been, she came back before Ethan, right? Like she came back one other time before Ethan, before we found out about Ethan. She would have had to have, because I said that I wasn't really remembering Ethan, and I remember Holly being around in the 90s. Was she around in the 90s?
Maybe.
Either way, it doesn't really matter.
Right. It's just the fact that this time is pointless.
92, 93, 2006, 2009 is when Ethan came. So 2006.
Doesn't seem like that long ago.
It doesn't. But yeah, I wouldn't have remembered the 93. Maybe it was 2006. Why did I definitely think I was still in high school? I was graduated from college by the time. Whatever. Anyway, either way. So she still couldn't be that baby. And that baby was Luke's anyway.
Right.
Okay. So anyway, and nobody wrote in about that whole thing. So everyone's probably like, I don't know. I'm just as confused as you guys.
Right.
But so Sasha goes and apologizes to Nina again.
Why? I lied to you.
She thinks it was karma paying her back for what she did to Nina. And Nina's like,
no,
I don't think that's correct.
Right. For 5 seconds, Nina was like a good, normal person again. She's like, Sasha, you're paranoid. What are you talking about? You didn't need to tell me that.
So I understand her going to Nina because she couldn't really go to Maxie about that. Because she also, before, Maxie did tell her how upset she was that she didn't know firsthand about Holly being her mom. And she's like, I've spent my whole life, hold on, where was it? It was, she spent her whole life wishing that she wasn't her mother. And she thinks that it's just another con.
Right.
And so she hadn't seen Max, and she's not going to go bother Maxie right now while her best friend is having surgery. Like, she's not going to. So she went to Nina for assistance with what she just learned.
Oh,
I love
off of all that, but just because you said it, I love Maxie going to see to see Sam and be like, thanks for doing all this, because they were BFFs again.
Yep.
Here's some balloons.
Well, one best friend is saving the other.
Yep.
Yay.
Ridiculous.
What else? I feel like we kind of jumped all over the place.
We did. Because this week was like absurd.
Oh, Heather got her BLT. I did like this continuity thing. Heather was in jail when it was still Kelly's. So she said that she wanted to go to Kelly's, and then she later on she went to Bobby's. But I did like that because it's like, oh yeah, she might not know that it changed names. Mm-hmm. I liked that.
Yes. I did think it was funny though that she said she had no money, and then she walks into the diner and is like, I'll take 2 BLTs. Well, who's paying for this, Heather? I hope
She's probably assuming Stephen Lars.
I hope you ask Stephen Lars if he has some money.
Right. Well, and then she had called the hospital and asked if Liz could pick her up, and Liz showed up.
Yes.
And then they both turn around and there's Stephen Lars walking right up to her.
Right.
And then Heather just straight up ditches her. Doesn't even ask her to come for a BLT.
Nope. She's like, all right, well, my son's here now, so I don't need you. Thanks. But she did go to her in person to let her know that even though she was sure it was going to make Liz very sad, that she would not be coming to stay with her. She was going to move with Stephen Lars. And I thought that Liz, like the whole portrayal of that, she did awesome, because you could just see she didn't want to be like, oh, thank God. But instead,
she started smiling and like everything, but she
was like, covered her mouth and was like, oh no.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
It was very cute the way that she did, like the whole acting for that.
That was really good. I like that too. And then what else?
Did Violet leave this week?
Yes. Oh,
that was sweet with Tracy saying to her, well, you can have the whole tea set, we'll have it packed up, blah 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 blah. And then Violet's like, well, no, you have to keep at least 1 teacup, because how are we going to do our virtual tea parties if you don't have one? And that was very sweet.
Well, they were having their last tea party and they were using Lila's china, and Brooklyn's like, I've never been allowed to use this. You must be really special.
And Tracy's like, she would have just broke it, but you know how to treat it, Violet.
Yeah. I did like that they let Finn tell Tracy, this is what's happening. And when Tracy walked through the door and saw the little suitcase, she just smiled.
Yeah. That was very... I'm
really upset about this one.
Yeah, exactly. I think that I didn't even process it last week, because I kept talking about how mad I was that they were officially taking Finn away, because they kind of teased us with he's getting out of rehab, and so maybe he was going to come back. And then it was like, no, not only is he not coming back, but we're taking Violet. And even though she was packing her stuff last week, it wasn't till this week that I was like, wait, you're seriously letting Violet go? Like, I didn't want this to happen.
Well, and it's one of those things that you just don't know, is that actually what's happening?
Yeah.
And it is, because her account shared, that was her last scene.
That's very, seeing their emotion and her emotion, you're like, how much of this is acting and how much of this is real? It's so sad.
That was so not acting. That was so not acting. It
was so
sweet. She gave her little stuffed animal Bella, though, to leave behind for her cousin, because she knows that the cousin is going to want it, and she hopes that they have a girl. And Brooklyn's like, you taught me how to be a mom. And Violet told her that she was going to miss her the most. And then she asked Chase if they could go say goodbye to Gregory.
That was sweet. Yeah.
And then she told Tracy that even though it's Monica's house, because Alan gave it to her, she made it her home.
Yeah.
So that sucked.
Yeah. I mean, I hated it because of what it was, but I loved it because it made you, oh.
I mean, it's bittersweet because you want that story to be true. You want dad to have gone to rehab and he's making a better life for himself. And the fact that he called Tracy on his own and was like, I did it. Thank you. And it wasn't, she didn't have to find out from Chase in Brooklyn, and
Right.
she didn't have to find out from Violet,
Right.
And I did like Brooklyn and Tracy hugging and crying, saying how much they already miss her and everything. So,
Yeah.
so Ellie is still in Portland, right?
Yep.
And Griffin's over there.
Yep.
So what you could do, General Hospital West Coast.
There you go.
General Hospital Pacific Northwest.
Oh, man.
And that's where I feel like my son's going to wind up. So I can just go out there and, check all that out
Right.
if I have to.
Right.
I want to talk about that.
No, we're not talking about that at all. No, thank you.
Yep.
No, thank you.
All right. What else? I think that actually might have been it. I did like that Robert reassured Anna that Holly's situation was not the same.
Yes.
Because
and
as soon as she walked in his office, he's like,
and she's like, you're gonna forgive her, aren't you? And he's like, well, like, oh, you stupid man.
Yep.
But he reassured everyone that he is in his relationship with Diane still, and that Holly's not messing that up.
Yep. Oh yeah, because then he told her about Sasha. He's like, so turns out I have another daughter. And she's like, wait, what? And he's like, when do you know her?
Right. Could you imagine if your significant other said that to you like so nonchalantly? By the way, found out I have another kid today. What?
I had that happen, not with JD,
not your significant other.
Yeah. I mean, listen, we have talked about this offline so many times that there have been things that have happened in our personal lives that it's just like, yep, this is why GH makes sense to us. Yep. So, Carly went and thanked Sam, and she's like, yeah, what do you want?
Yeah. I felt like that was over dramatic. Like we've seen them being friendly enough times that I don't feel like Sam would have been quite so, what do you want?
Mm-hmm.
And then Carly was like, I just need to thank you for saving my cousin and what you're doing for everyone, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, I liked when Sonny and Jason were talking about the diamonds, and it's like when they were putting two and two together about how Holly got them. And Sonny's like, wait, why didn't you just kill Sidwell? He's like, Lucky wouldn't let me. He's like, oh, Laura would be proud, but Luke's rolling over in his grave.
That's another reason why I don't understand why we're doing all this stuff with Holly, because what are we going to have Sidwell show up and like kidnap Sasha or something for the diamonds?
Shut up.
Because what else is
Don't say these things.
What else is the point? If
we're going to kill
Sidwell's
Sasha. We're going to kill Sasha. Fantastic.
No, I did not say kill. I said kidnap for the diamonds back.
Maybe he'll take Portia instead.
Oh, please. That would be great. Yeah, I there's just no other point. Or else Holly's going to leave right now because she doesn't want to meet up with Sidwell. So why did we even bother bringing her back?
That's my point. Is like, we know that she is not here for, like, this is not a long term. It never is.
Mm-mm.
And we don't want it.
So we're going to have Sidwell kidnap Sasha, and then what? Cody's going to save her, and they still can't be together because that would be gross.
Well, isn't that what, who was Franco's, not Franco's dad, Austin's dad, Jimmy Lee Holt. Wasn't it him and Celia? Weren't they first cousins? And they got married. Listen, I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying we've done that before.
We're not doing that.
No. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, I don't know. And I don't want to speculate anymore because it just makes me mad.
Oh, Laura asked Anna to find Charlotte.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, on it.
Yeah. Because again, we're going to tell Charlotte, come home and see your mother because she's awake now, even though she hasn't even made it through surgery.
All right. I think that's it.
Okay. Reality check.
So how was your week?
It was good. Nothing too crazy. I had a impromptu date night Wednesday because one of the coupon Facebook sites that I was on had a free coupon, 2 free coupons for seeing a movie. And so I was like, you know what? It was the first week that Madeline didn't have cheer practice. And so I was like, Ryan, you and I are going out, just the two of us, to see a movie without any, like, Beetlejuice was playing at the same time. So I was like, girls, if you want to go see Beetlejuice, you can come with us and go see that movie. But we are going to go see this movie all by ourselves. And I had no idea what it was about. I had no idea anything. It was just free movie tickets. Who cares? But it was up at the Mills. We were the only people there. I think we might have been the only people in the whole theater, like the whole theater. But we were the only people.
The theater at the Mills closed.
Nope, the theater at the Mills is still open. And yeah. So we had our whole theater to ourselves, but I'm kind of pretty sure, other than the workers, that we were the only people in the whole theater. But the movie was called Goodrich, and I was not expecting it to make me cry, and it did. And so then I was like, this is why I don't go out on date nights. But it was about a dad that had been married and had a kid the normal age that you're supposed to, and then ended up divorced from that kid's mom, and then had remarried somebody and had like young kids. So he was like 60 some with a set of 10-year-old twins, and then a daughter that was 30 some. And so it was like reflecting on that, what you miss from one to the other, and the changes in your life as you age, and blah blah blah. And so yeah, I couldn't do it. It was just, it had Mila Kunis in it as the older daughter. And so yeah, it's
Michael Keaton, who is also Beetlejuice. Yes. So that was just funny.
Yes. I actually made that, like, I knew that, but when I walked out of the theater and saw both posters, I was like, the whole theater is just Michael Keaton. But yeah, him and Mila are the ones that like produced it and everything. So apparently, I'm assuming they had some type of connection to it, that they wanted to produce it and star in it. But it was a really good movie. So yeah, if you have a chance to see it, especially with some free movie tickets, then go and see it. But take your Kleenexes if you have any type of age to you that makes you reflect back on back then to now, because you are gonna cry.
Sure.
But yeah, it was nice. It was just nice, just the two of us, to like go out, and because it was like no planning and something as simple as a free movie, it was like, I'm just going in my comfy clothes, and like we're just, it had no pressure to it as like a date or whatever. So it was fun. And then yesterday we went shopping. Anyone who needs anything, JCPenney, the pink tickets for anything except for jewelry, mattresses, and salon products, all pink ticket items are $3. So I took him and Madeline.
How long is that for?
Through, I believe it's November 7th. I could be wrong on the day, but it's either the 5th or the 7th. And some of them have put all their stuff out, so you get what you get. Other ones are adding new stock as the days go by, so you might want to check multiple times. But yeah, I took Ryan, and he never buys himself anything, so he got like 10 new shirts, and Madeline got a pair of shorts and a pair of jeans, and I found a pair of pants for my mom, and I got a suitcase because we don't have any real luggage, and it was like a ridiculously priced suitcase that I got for $3, and I was so excited.
I was so like, when you, because I guessed 52, because I was like, okay,
well, an
insane amount off was still 52.
It was funny because I sent the picture to Matt, because the original price tag was $360. So I sent the picture to Matt, and I was like, how much do you think that I paid for this? And it was a good deal. And he was like, I mean, a normal person, I would say $100, but I know that you would never spend $100 on a suitcase. So I'm not sure what to say. And I was like, well, thank you for knowing that I would never spend $100 on a suitcase. But yeah, it's one of like the hard ones, and it has a cute Mickey design on it, which I'm sure makes it even more outrageously expensive normally, and whatever. And it was $3, and I was so excited. And the best part was, I was like prepared to go up there and have the lady be like, no, the cashier be like, no, this isn't included, even though I knew it was supposed to be included. And they did not question it at all. They had to have a manager override it, because some stuff doesn't scan even though it's supposed to, but they were like all prepared for it and stuff. And then the people in my couponing groups were getting like whole sets of dishes, whole sets of silverware. The one lady got like the expensive brand of silverware that's like $300 for the set, $3.
Is it on their website too?
It'll tell you that it's on sale on the website, but you can't buy through the website. You have to go in store. And if you are smart, you will download the JCPenney app because some of the stuff that is blue tagged is also coming up $3. So if you have your app, you can just scan every item and it'll tell you if it's $3 or not. But with the pink tags, it won't say that it's $3, but they will adjust the price. And if it happens to be something less than $3, you will get the lesser price.
Okay, thank you.
So yeah, we got over $1,000 worth of stuff for $100. And some of the
I
stuff
need new clothes because of my weight loss. Like I haven't really been able to buy stuff.
Yes. That was what I text you, and I text our other friend who has lost a bunch of weight. I need to hang out with both you guys more because I need your secrets, although I'm not as dedicated as the two of you.
I need to get some stuff for JD too. Shopping.
Yeah. They have big and tall stuff too because JD is not short.
No, he's not.
But yeah. And yeah, like I said, it's everything except for jewelry, salon, and mattresses. So.
Okay.
Yeah, but go whenever you have time to like actually look because some of the stuff is just like on racks. But if you want like the other finds, you got to kind of dig around. Like my luggage was not like sitting front and center. I had to dig for it a little bit.
Not have to be in the mood to go shopping. I hate shopping.
I know, me too. I didn't buy anything for myself because everything I was like, do I really want? I don't know, blah, blah, blah. There was nothing that I fell in love with. Mm-hmm. So, but I feel like I'm also more like the normal size on the bigger end. Like if you needed size 4, there was tons of them. And if you needed size like 4X, there was tons of them. But whenever you go to like my size, that's right in between the normal and the plus size, it's like, no, that seems to be the comfy spot for everybody. So, but you'll be good because you are skinnier now. So you'll have more selection.
Hopefully.
But anyway, yeah, that's I am like addicted to couponing lately. And so I'm loving saving money. But yesterday was really fun because Ryan was totally into it. He was the one that like held us up. And this morning he was like, so when are we going to JCPenney again? And I was like, shut up.
He can go buy me stuff. I'll give him my sizes. Can he pick out outfits? Well, I think what my sizes are. So
exactly. That's the problem. And it's not final sale. So you can buy
I was just going to ask that.
Yep. It is not final sale, so at least not yet. So you can go buy a bunch of crap and try it on at home and then return it. Okay. How about you? How was your week?
So I did not do a lot of shopping. I actually did kind of yesterday. We went to a local orchard and had some wine tasting. And, you know, they have a discount. The more wine you buy, you get a discount.
I mean, why not?
Well, we got a lot of like host gifts and stuff we thought ahead already to the holidays. And I was like, oh, this will be nice to bring for Thanksgiving. This will be nice to bring for Christmas. We got my in-laws Christmas present already. There's a local, actually, I don't know if they're local. I feel like they are. Boyd and something. Let me find a picture. Boyd and Blair, but they make different spirits. Oh yeah, it's a Pennsylvania brand. Cool. But they had these bottles that when you put them together, they make this. They're Steelers bottles.
Oh,
but
okay.
One's called but then on the inside it has the design is like the Super Bowls. Okay. I'm not doing a really good job of explaining these bottles, but they're really cool. But then like if you look up at the bottleneck, it has their black and gold.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You can kind of see it. And they're just really cool bottles. And so we bought them the old fashioned and something else. But they were having like 2, you could buy 2. And I was like, my in-laws will keep those bottles and then we can just get like some twinkle lights or something and put them on, and they can just be a decoration too. Because they're cute bottles. Like they're very cute. And then we kind of had a little bit of an impromptu trip to the Pittsburgh Zoo's Jack-o'-lantern Festival on Tuesday night because it was such a gorgeous night. The weather was perfect. It was still like in the 70s. And so we just decided to go. And then, because my daughter had been there with her social group the week before, and we were just looking at the schedule, and I'm like, why don't we just go? And then I had 4 closings, so I'm tired.
Yeah.
But I also found out that I finally made it into the top 200 of my company. I was like teetering like right outside of it all year. And then in September, so basically between the end of August and this past Friday, I think I had 9 closings.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I went from, I did not earn, I was almost earning like 1 award level. I completely smashed it, and now I'm like almost done with the second one. Actually, I already have it after this week's closings. I have it, but we don't. It goes updates monthly. So I just think that's funny is that I kind of just went from. So there's that. I just have a few more closings for the rest of the year, so that'll be nice.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, really, this week was just a lot of work. But I guess I did have a good bit of downtime and fun time. So I'm just tired. Now I have to go shopping. So there's that.
I feel like tired is just a constant feeling.
Yeah.
Madeline was sick Thursday, so she stayed home Thursday and Friday. And so Friday I called off work because I could tell, you know how like whenever they're super sick, they're so sick that they're just going to lay in bed, so it doesn't matter. That's where she was Thursday. But Friday I could tell that she was still sick, but not that sick. And so I was like, I'm not going to be able to work because she's going to be in my office every 5 seconds. So I called off and was like, all right, we're going to stay in bed and rest. Like you can watch TV and whatever, but we're not going out. We're not doing anything. We're staying in bed. And I swear I slept more than she did because it was so nice to just be in bed and not have to do anything else.
Right. Nice.
So, yeah.
Well, nice. So we'll take a mini Lucky break because Lucky actually gave us a little bit of a break. We didn't really see him much this week, but
True.
I feel like there's going to, because, you know, they brought up Olivia and he's like, don't bring up Olivia. So there's some stuff we got to talk about with him.
Yeah.
Even if he's back for a couple weeks.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, yeah. Join us on Thursday as we talk about Steve and Weber.
Have a good week.
And we'll meet you at the pier.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to pier54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platform. Don't forget to leave us a review.
And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Pier 54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there is something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at pier54podcast@gmail.com.
This episode is brought to you by L'Oreal Paris and their Revitalift filler range. If you're looking for a glass skin glow, try Revitalift Filler Serum and Plumping Water Cream. Powered by hyaluronic acid, L'Oreal's Filler Serum hydrates skin and replumps fine lines in just 1 hour. Then lock in that hydration and plump with the Filler Water Cream. Right now, the range is half price at Boots until the 21st of October, subject to availability. Shop the Revitalift Filler Serum and Water Cream at Boots now.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But here's a big one you need to hear. Billions. That's the amount of money in refunds the IRS has flagged for possible identity fraud. Now here's another big number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. One last big number. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.